Everybody join me in a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Anita Johnson is excused this evening. Somebody's cell phone. Okay, we'll go on to the present.
Good evening. Chairman Kubicki, Vice Chairwoman Brunig, County Clerk Krebs, members of the County Board, Circuit Court judges, elected officials, distinguished guests, and fellow citizens of Kenosha County. It is an honor to be here before you as your county executive and presenting you the 2015 county budget. Kenosha County is the hottest spot in the region, the state, and possibly the nation. This budget keeps our foot on the gas for economic development and further refines our smooth-running departments and divisions. Additionally, this budget plans for the future growth of our community and the mandates that county government faces. The budget is among the most important work we do as public officials in county government. It's to ensure we are good stewards of public resources, to plan ahead to be good executor of the services county government does. And as you are aware, county government is an arm of the state and federal government and provides those services that you and your neighbor cannot provide for yourselves. Road enhancements, repair, incarceration, court services, child protective services, assistance for our senior citizens, and to help with mental health issues, just to name a few. The decisions we make here together in this chamber and during this budget process will set the tone not only for a sustainable county government this coming year, but for years to follow. This budget strengthens our financial health and our job creation ability to ensure the brightest future for all of our Kenosha County residents. As you know, this is a process of constantly evaluating and reevaluating what we do in county government to maintain and improve our infrastructure and the delivery of our many state and federal mandated services, and strategically plan for the future needs in the most fiscally responsible way. We know that good infrastructure leads to economic development, which leads to jobs. Over the last 20 months, over 4,000 jobs have been created or announced in the Kenosha County area. Without the construction of Highway 165 in Pleasant Prairie, West Park wouldn't exist. Without the reconstruction of County Trunk N, we would not have Gordon Foods have located here. And we would not now have Amazon being constructed. That visionary project, which was adopted by the County Board, has already led to U-Line announcing another major development west of I-94 off of County Trunk N. And it will lead to more development in that general area, probably within a half-mile radius of that area fairly soon. It is because of those forward-thinking projects like that, important work done by you, the County Board, with this administration, that Kenosha County is the hottest development spot in the Midwest. You build it, they came, and they're still coming to Kenosha County, as long as we remain determined and plan strategically. But it's not just us planning in a vacuum. Obviously, we have advice and counsel with the Kenosha Area Business Alliance to do these projects where it makes good business sense. The budget before you contains funds for maintaining and improving our highways, making up nearly 3% of our county levy in the 2015 budget proposal. This budget contains funds to pave about 13 miles of repaving of county trunk roads, repairs, and the much-needed crack filling that we do every year. And this year we did more than usual. This budget includes a long-term major project that will begin in 2015 for County Trunk Highway S. This again will be a visionary project. It will be a smaller version to the north of what 165 was to the south of Kenosha and Pleasant Prairie. It is needed for a number of reasons. Quicker access to the downtown, and of course Amazon, Uline, and other businesses that will choose Kenosha will use that. This is a project that safeguards Kenosha County's economic future. Not only do businesses and the public want safe roads, they want a safe community. Law enforcement is a critical duty of county government. Sworn men and women patrol our county roads and work to keep crime low. Safe streets and safe communities are an important factor in economic development. Our numbers in this area have been better than most communities around us. Sheriff Beth does that well, and maintains the third largest jail in the state. Today, there are 797 inmates in-house and 40 on electric monitoring. Law enforcement, which includes the Sheriff's Department, Circuit Court, the District Attorney's Office, accounts for 45% of the 2015 proposed levy budget. The Sheriff's Department is 34% of our budget. Patrol, prosecution, and lockup make a big part of county government. The hallmark of a great community like Kenosha County is how we care for those in need. A veteran comes home from serving her country and needs assistance finding a job. Darrell Green and the Veteran Service Office is there to connect that person with the right process of how to find employment. A senior citizen is having difficulty remaining in his home and needs to find out if assisted living is the type of arrangement that would work well for him. Foster care, child support, health needs, these are important areas that go on in the Human Services Department, and they manage that every day. Human Services makes up about 17% of the county levy budget and is matched by millions and millions of state and federal dollars. The rest of the county departments make up the remaining levy in the budget. That includes finance, IT, purchasing, the county clerk, register of deeds, county executive, and other internal and external critical areas, and debt service. Let's take a look at the average city taxpayer's bill on the last year's tax bill. City services are 41%. Kenosha Unified School District, 35%. County government, 17.6%. Gateway Technical College, 5.6%. And the state of Wisconsin is 0.6%. I do want to offer an opportunity for the city of Kenosha to save some money. And in 2015 and beyond, more importantly, it's the long haul that we want to look at. The taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for two IT service organizations. We have a highly professional, highly skilled team already in place. It's my understanding that the mayor proposed last night to hire its own information technology staff and start their own IT service in mid-2015. They have previously had contracted services, and I urge the city to consider using the county IT services to at least price it out. At least talk about combined services so you don't have to have two management teams in the IT area. This would be a start, but we should be looking at other ways we could save money by combining services. And I sent a letter to the mayor today conveying that request. Each year, we examine what we do, whether we need to keep doing it, and if so, how can we do it better? I conducted a strategic planning meeting with each county division in the first quarter of this year so that we could take a critical look at every aspect of our services. As part of that deep level review process, we heard about space needs from the district attorney's office and the circuit court. The DA's office can't have a staff meeting because there's not a room big enough to hold it. The courts are concerned, where is the 9th and 10th Circuit Court branch going to go? It's a matter of when and not if, as caseloads keep increasing. Our Circuit Court judges, District Attorney Bob Zaff, Clerk of Courts Rebecca Mataska-Mentic, who's here tonight, and I also see Bob Pitts on the Brookside Board of Trustees. Becky has provided me their comments and concerns on the present and future space crunch that we will have on our downtown campus. I will provide to the oversight committees those comments and an implementation plan for this budget. This will address the current and the inevitable space crunch on our downtown campus in a cost-effective manner. I talked last year about the need for Kenosha County to attract and retain employees, and in the 2014 budget, you approved a classification and compensation study. And this budget provides those funds to begin to peg wages and benefits to the market sometime in mid-2015. Also, sometime in 2015, a 1.5% wage increase is included in this budget for those employees who continue to exceed expectation on their annual reviews. For a number of years, this board has heard from our correctional staff that overtime has been excessive and it has had an impact on retention. In working with the sheriff, this budget provides for a study of wages, benefits, working conditions, including overtime, and the impact on our jail staff. We have seen over the past several years an increase for our jail staff anyway, and at that point, we can review and look at the analytics. We have seen over the past several years an increase in our cost for mental health services in both our County Department of Corrections and for the county at large. This budget proposes an increase in mental health services in the jail and launches a pilot program to increase mental health services in the community. For the jail, we'll boost the mental health services to provide coverage for 80 hours a week. This will help address the growing need for mental health services in our jail. This budget funds either a nurse practitioner or a physical assistant to double the caseload as a result of the general shortage of psychiatric services in Kenosha County, particularly those who accept Medicaid patients. This will begin to address the high back-end costs of delaying services to those in need who otherwise end up in our state institutions, which can cost up to $1,250 a day. This is more progress toward addressing this community need. County Clerk Mary Krebs has requested, and I am recommending, new election equipment be purchased next year. It is vital that the election process remain up to date and with technological changes and improvements to ensure smooth and fair voting process, and the change should take place in a year of lighter turnout. Of course, the major project of 2015 and the budget is the Brookside Care Center renovation and expansion. We have had a presentation on the details on that project in August. We've gotten a number of questions, and I think we've gotten back to most everyone, and we want to continue to work on this project. This project makes good management sense, good fiscal sense, and I look forward to discussing this project with each and every one of you, whatever questions you have as we move forward in the debate on this project. So tonight, I submit to you a 2015 budget proposal with a general purpose levy less than the county board advisory recommendation. For a home valued at $100,000, it would be less than a 33 cents a month increase, or about $3.90 a year. We here in county government perform our statutory and federally mandated services and seek to enhance the quality of life and the ability to do business in Kenosha County. We will work together to strategically to keep our county vibrant, our infrastructure solid, and our services sustainable. We need to be sustainable as a government and fiscally strong. What we do here sends a clear message to the businesses and potential residents. What we do here helps our economic development partners, the Kenosha Area Business Alliance, the City of Kenosha, Pleasant Prairie, Summers, Bristol, Paris, Salem, Paddock Lake, Silver Lake, Twin Lakes, Brighton, and Randall, because we're all in this together to attract and retain companies like Amazon, Uline, Hanna Cylinders, Incinerator, Kenall Manufacturing, Niagara Bottling, and the next businesses that will come here to Kenosha County. Again, I thank you for your time that you will spend reviewing this proposed budget, and I look forward to our continued dialogue and collective visioning for Kenosha County now and in the future. Thank you all, and may God bless Kenosha County.
Thank you, County Executive Jim Kreuser. We'll move on to citizen comments, please. Citizen comments. Anybody wishing to speak, you have 5 minutes. State your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jack Rose, 4315 68th Street, Kenosha, 53142. Kenosha County is here to improve the quality of life for people affected with mental illness through advocacy, education, and support. We stress recovery, fight stigma. We are the voice of mental health awareness in our community. Kenosha County continues to stress the importance of the human services budget. We need your support. The community needs your support. It's all about mental health awareness, mental health treatment, and mental health recovery. Mental health awareness is especially important this year as severe budget cuts continue to threaten mental health services across our country. The cost of the community is high, and when that happens and cuts are made, people who do not receive the services end up in hospitals, jail, and dead. Don't let this happen to our community. We need to keep the momentum going that we have right now. Kenosha continues to provide the mental health awareness at no cost to our community through our family-to-family programs, both in English and Spanish. In 2015, we hope to provide family-to-family our 12-week program, starting in January at both the Job Center and the county building on Highway 45. So we're going to extend beyond the interstate. We're making inroads into KUSD with innovative youth programs. We continue to provide our 5-day crisis intervention team training to our local law enforcement, and a 2-day crisis intervention partner training for dispatchers, corrections, social workers, ER staff, and counselors. Our circle of care continues to grow in our community. To date, we have 136 law enforcement that have been through crisis intervention team training. We have 418 folks that have been through our crisis intervention partner training. So we continue to build our circle of care in the community. And there are no charge to these programs. So this is mental health awareness. But I'm here tonight to continue to stress the importance of mental health treatment programs. And that's where we all work together to help out our county and our community. Early identification and intervention result in better outcomes. Treatment works, but only if a person can get it. Mental illness touches 1 in 4 of us, and at this time, NAMI nationally reports that only 4 in 10 folks with severe and persistent mental illness have access to the requisite treatment. We need to do better than this in our community, and we are doing better. We need to continue this. This is so important as we move forward in this next year. We need to continue the excellent treatment programs that we have in our community, such as the Care Center, the community support programs, the comprehensive community services that at this time, through a regional action, are even reaching out to our children and improving the situation for them. Our crisis center is so key. And I think through the efforts of the CIT program with law enforcement and the workers in our crisis center, the relationship is getting better, and it continues to improve. And at the end of the day, that saves lives and it saves money. So we need to continue in that direction. The great works of Kenosha Human Development Services, it's incredible. All the things that they do for this community and continue to do. We are also fortunate to have specialty courts in our community. And it goes back to 2009 when it started with the Drug and Alcohol Court. In 2012, we started a Veterans Court that's actually seated in Racine, but it serves the 2nd District. 2013, we started a Behavioral Health Treatment Court that continues to work here. And it's so important because at the end of the day, this provides treatment and not incarceration. And it's for nonviolent offenders, but it works. The treatment is so very important. I think it's also important that we use all the resources that we have in our community. And this includes Kenosha County Human Services, the Kenosha Community Health Center, the private providers, the Professional Services Group, Community Impact Programs, Oakwood Clinical Associates. We all need to work together and use the best what we have of the resources that are available. One thing on the budget side, as you come out, if you look at these programs and you look at what it costs to have somebody incarcerated in our jail, it takes about $70 a day. For our drug treatment program, it's $12.81 a day. For our behavioral health treatment court, it's $12.73. So it's more cost effective. And I think even going back to 2010, we have a jail diversion program that helps people who are arrested, say, for a misdemeanor. And crisis workers come and check the daily arrest log, and they provide services for these people. So let's get them on the front end instead of always waiting to the back end when you have a crisis. So this is extremely important. I think also with the budget, the fact of another nurse practitioner, this will help to augment what we have at Kenosha Human Development Services already. And it's extremely important because the nurse practitioner can work under a psychiatrist. and it's very effective. We have one now. The second one will be fantastic. I think the efforts that are being made in our jail with those that are incarcerated are paying great dividends as well. As a member of the Jail Mental Health Committee, things are improving for the people that are currently incarcerated with the mental health services that are provided. And this budget provides even for improving that. At this point in time, I mentioned with the Crisis Intervention Team training, we have approximately 38% of Kenosha Police Department that have been through it, the patrol. We have nearly 50% of the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department, and we have 29% of the jail staff. We will continue to provide this training. We just completed one on September 15th to the 19th. We had 26 people go through it. We've got another crisis intervention partner training coming up on November 12th and 13th, and at this time we've already got 50 people in the class. This is a collaborative effort, both these programs, between Kenosha County Human Services, Gateway Technical College, the Kenosha Police, Kenosha Sheriff, and NAMI Kenosha. We need to continue this momentum. We need to continue to improve the services that we provide our county.
30 seconds, Mr. Rose.
Thank you. We need to work together, pull on the line together, and we can make things better in the community. I thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak this evening? Anybody else wishing to speak? Anyone else wishing to speak? Citizen comments is closed. Announcements from the chairman. I'd like to thank our county executive for his excellent budget presentation this evening and his continued leadership of Kenosha County. The third week of this month, the week of the 20th, is going to be budget hearings. You're all welcome to attend those meetings. Get input and also ask questions, whatever you wish to do. Also, budget books and flash drives will be available after the meeting tonight. They'll be handed out to my left over there. And that's all I have. Supervisor reports. Supervisor Hallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a reminder to the members of the Human Services Committee, as you all know, we did not meet yesterday, but we will be meeting on October 22nd at the Job Center. That will start at 6 o'clock. For those of you that would like sustenance to survive whatever length the meeting might run, please show up at 5. Just another note very quickly, the open enrollment date for the Affordable Care Act for 2015 is going to be November 15th of 2014. So it's going to run from November 15th, 2014 through February of 2015 for folks to be covered through the year of 2015. I know I've already been contacted about the Community Health Center about that. There may be some events that take place if you want to have one in your district, or you need a town hall to help walk your constituents through what that might mean for them. Feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, or see me tonight before you leave. On Wednesday, November the 5th, from 11:30 to 1 p.m., will be the Kenosha County Healthcare Executives Roundtable. This is something that's done on, I believe, a quarterly basis that we try to bring all of our healthcare executives, both the Community Health Center, both of our hospital systems, and educators and some business folks in our community together to discuss health issues. There have been speakers. I think we had somebody from the State Department of Health in the past. It's nice, and there's lunch, and you learn a little something. Occasionally, there are some action items for you to walk away with and do something in your own district. So for those of you who are available to attend, I'd certainly encourage you to do that. I think the health department will be sending an email out a little bit closer to the date. Beyond that, just something from our former supervisor, Gail Gantz, who wanted me to let you know that last month, Feeding America in our community served 214 households that consisted of 835 adults, 372 children, and the following items were brought: chicken and turkey, brats, hot dogs, lunch meat, cookies, crackers, potatoes, canned vegetables, yogurt, bread, and cereal. Certainly this coincides with the news clipping that we all have on our desks. Thank you to whoever decided to copy that and provide that to us this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Hallman.
Did he say October 22nd for their meeting?
Supervisor Hallman?
Yes, indeed.
Aren't we meeting for our budget that night?
Yeah, it's budget. Yep.
Then I have to check with our staff who have given me the incorrect date.
Do you have something to add, Supervisor Decker?
I also have October 22nd at 5:30 as the meeting we've been told that in the past.
Okay. We'll have to rework that. Thank you both. Does that answer your question, Supervisor Gens?
I guess I will get an answer when it gets worked out. Thank you.
You will.
All right, thank you.
Supervisor Alverman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm assuming showing up at 5 for lunch that evening is out now?
Yes.
We're not sure the date.
He's being
Public Works,
sarcastic right now.
Public Works Facilities, golf parks. Just a couple items. As we all know, golf, as the weather goes, so goes golf, and the month of September was good to our golf courses. We had a full report last evening. The rounds revenue are still down from the early spring and early summer weather, but our costs are also down. So we are operating ledger-wise in decent shape. And again, with a good fall here, a good October, early November, we are going to be fine on the golf courses. Paving season is almost complete for our highway department, and as everyone knows, we'll be gearing up for the winter season. You've seen articles in the newspaper about salt supplies being at an all-time low and costs being at an all-time high. Kenosha County is in good shape coming into the winter season. Our highway commissioner has planned well, and our supplies are going to be in good shape. We have numerous things happening in the Parks Department. One of the large items that'll happen in the winter months is going to be some of the harvesting for the emerald ash borer, things that I've reported on. The ash population in Kenosha County is in our parks very high, and we are looking at ways to limit the cost to the taxpayer for this by using some of our people naturally for planting, by using local nurseries for new product, and by using loggers that will pay for the product. I'll be continuing to report on that. Next Monday is going to be our committee's budget meeting and hearing. It's the 13th, I believe. That'll be at 6:30, and if the committee has not been notified today, Mr. Rudy has suggested that we provide a food and beverage at that meeting so people don't have to rush to get there, and we don't have to rush to leave. So that meeting is going to be at 6:30, as we previously set. On the facilities end of the report, everyone's aware the 60th Street Tower is done. You're going to have something this evening we're going to discuss about the old 60th Street Tower. The building that we're sitting in, the project is on schedule. The stonework on the east and south end is complete. As you noticed tonight when you walked in, the scaffolding is gone. We still have the boardwalk. The HVAC units have been removed, the old ones. Roofing has started, so we're on schedule on this building. And also, last evening, we're not going to have that tonight. We did review and approve acceptance of a $10,000 grant from the Wisconsin Division of Energy Service to purchase and install LED lighting at our facilities, which is mainly outdoor lighting. that'll be at our next meeting. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
One question for you, Supervisor Elverman. Are we still going to be buying like 2-year supply worth of salt versus just a 1-year supply?
Yes.
And on that Wednesday, October 22nd, you can meet me there for food at 5 o'clock. We will have budget hearings that day on the 22nd.
Okay, great.
Okay? Just want to clarify that with you.
Great.
Thank you. Supervisor Poole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Some might wonder why I would mention our country's debt in these chambers. Why should we worry about our country's $18 trillion debt? Well, here's one reason. Annual gross domestic product in the United States is about $17 trillion. Economic studies have shown that economies suffer stagnant growth when a country's debt divided by the country's gross domestic product is over 105%. Current U.S. national debt is around $18 trillion. When you divide the $18 trillion in debt by the U.S. gross domestic product of $17 trillion, you come up with approximately 106%. That is the reason our country is having a hard time growing the economy. Most of the money that could finance growth is being sucked up by more debt. These are some things to consider now that we're in budget mode for 2015. We hope for the best and plan for the worst. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Poole. Supervisor Rose.
I just want to bring to the board's attention that when you receive your budget books this evening, it does include a budget hearing schedule. It also has a form for budget inquiries that you may have of the administration.
Thank you. Supervisor Rose. Vice Chair Bruning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a reminder to everyone that the Finance and Administration Committee is now paperless. Anyone and everyone is welcome to go out there on Civic Plus and to sign up for the email so that you get the timely notifications, and you can download that right to your Surface tablet. For those of you that are still reluctant to use that, you can still get the paper copies through the clerk's office, but we encourage everyone that is getting those paper copies to please come and pick them up themselves so that we can save on some postage. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Bruning. County Clerk.
Resolution 55 from Public Works Facility and Finance Administration Committees, a resolution to declare the demolition of the old 60th Street Tower an emergency under Wisconsin Statutes 59.52 29B. Public Works Facility, Elverman, yes. Grady, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Skalitsky, yes. Poole, yes. Finance Administration, Rose, yes. Ron Frederick, no. O'Day, yes. Kohlmeyer, yes. Brunig, yes. Gens, yes. Dodge, yes.
Supervisor Elverman.
Move resolution number 55, Mr. Chairman.
Resolution 55 has been moved by Supervisor Elverman, seconded by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Elverman.
Mr. Chairman and County Board members, I know that I report on portions of this item for 3 to 4 years. The need now to remove the old tower has been deemed an emergency because of the lateness of the season. The tower, as I reported 2 years ago, had some deficiencies that ice, winds could cause serious problems. So we had some delays, well-publicized delays and well-reported delays through many seasons and through many people. None of that really needs to be replayed anymore this evening, but we do need to take down this tower. We will be dealing with the city again on this, which is unfortunate because the city actually has to give us a permit and permission to remove this. So I'm urging everyone this evening, no matter how you feel about emergencies, to approve this. The consolation, if there is any, is that it is well within the budget, well within the numbers that we looked at for the removal. It's below the numbers. It's a shame that it has to come to this, where this board is put into a situation that something is deemed an emergency when we knew it was an emergency years ago. But Fact of the matter is, that's what we have to do this evening, so I'm asking for everyone's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Overman. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Okay, we have one no. Passes 21-1.
Resolution 55 from Supervisor Aaron Decker, a resolution to urge the amending of the Wisconsin statutes to allow counties to publish legal notices and proceedings solely on the internet.
Is there any motions being made on this particular item?
Move to suspend the rules and allow for a vote tonight.
It's been moved by Supervisor Dodge and seconded by Supervisor Gable to suspend the rules on this particular item. This requires a 2/3 vote of the people present,
Okay,
and there's no, excuse me?
Order.
Go ahead.
Does this need to be noticed to the public? Motion to suspend the rules? I thought it did.
Suspend the rules only needs, number one, to be noticed if there's reason to believe it may happen. Number two, we have a notice as part of the notice of meetings that indicates that any item on may be taken up as an action item. So I believe that we are covered and could proceed with that vote tonight.
Anybody else wishing to speak on this?
It is non-debatable.
Supervisor Grady. Oh, that's right.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Chairman.
sorry, I didn't mean to, it's a non-debatable issue per Corp Council and Robert's Rules of Order. So all you can do is vote it up or vote it down.
On the suspension of rules.
Oh, suspension of rules? Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, are we on the suspension of rules or are we not on the suspension of rules? Then I will defer my comment for the time being.
Okay. Supervisor Elverman.
okay, so I can't discuss suspending the rules?
It is a non-debatable motion.
Can I ask, was there a reason given for suspending the rules?
I guess when someone wants to suspend the rules, they want to move something forward sooner than later versus getting it sent to committee, would be my,
But there was no reason given.
I'm just stating what I think may have been a statement, but he just asked to suspend the rules and there was a second, and this is where we're at right now.
Could I ask, Mr. Chairman, because that whistle was distracting me when all this was going on?
Yeah.
Could I ask, I see it's submitted by Supervisor Aaron Decker, the resolution.
Yes.
Could I ask who made a motion to suspend the rules?
Supervisor Rick Dodge made the motion to suspend the rules and it was seconded by Supervisor Gable.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to.
We all through with that part of it? Anybody else? No, it's non-debatable, so we're going to vote yes if you're in favor of suspending the rules, and then no if you're not, and it requires 2/3 of the people present. So yes if you want to suspend it, put it forward, or no.
That'd be 15.
How many?
'57 from Supervisors Boyd, Frederick, Brunig, and Colmeyer, a resolution to reaffirm the month of October as the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kenosha County, and to recognize the contribution of Women and Children's Horizons for their advocacy on behalf of victims of domestic and sexual violence.
Supervisor Frederick? Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules and take it up this evening.
It's been moved by Supervisor Frederick to suspend the rules and take it up this evening. Is there a second on that? seconded by Supervisor Hallman. It's a non-debatable issue as we had on the previous. It requires 2/3 vote of the people present. Yes, if you're in favor of suspending the rules and moving this forward, or no if you're not.
Point of information.
Yes.
Can I state this is to recognize the month of October?
Right.
That's the reason to suspend the rules tonight.
Absolutely, great point. Great point. Yes, and if you're in favor, no if you're against. Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry. Supervisor Bruning, who was to speak on this, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few things about this resolution that we co-sponsored between Supervisor Kohlmeyer, Supervisor Boyd Frederick, and myself. Women and Children's was established in 1976, and they set up the first 24-hour hotline in Kenosha County. And it wasn't recognized until 1987 when the first Domestic Violence Awareness Month was established. Some of the services that are provided by Women and Children's Horizons include issues with domestic violence, children's services, legal advocacy, emergency shelter, transitional living, sexual assault, trauma-informed care, and human trafficking. In 2013 alone, they served 2,479 victims and survivors. They spent 38,986 hours, and they served 42,904 clients in Kenosha County alone. This is an incredible facility and service that they provide for us. And with all due respect, I would like to introduce to you the Director of Women and Children's Horizons, Beth Ballo, if she would come to the podium and please give a brief statement.
Good evening. As the Director of Women and Children's, I really want to thank the Commission for all of the support ongoing and past that you've given the agency. As Ms. Brunig said, we've been in existence since the 70s, and we've expanded greatly and do serve both victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, including children and including men. We're often asked that question, and we do serve men as well. I really commend this proclamation as evidence of public or community awareness. It's really critical that the community take on this problem. It's very difficult for a victim of violence to come forward, but when they have support in the community, it makes it much easier, and it makes them realize that the support they have can help them go forward to a sustainable life, and that's what we encourage at Women and Children's. Currently, what we're doing is moving out west of the interstate. There have been a lot of requests for our services out there. At this time, we're only able to provide advocacy services, and we have an advocate out there once a week to help with victims. There are transportation issues that come with that, and we're trying to resolve those. And there is a need for a facility out there as well to house victims, as there is none at this point. We do know the Department of Justice has said, and has said for many years, that 1 out of every 4 women is a victim of violence. What we see in shelter are people who come in with children who have witnessed violence, and what we do is, with our child witness program, try to work with the children to encourage them to learn how to resolve conflict in a different way. They've only seen violence in their home. We want them to learn how to resolve it in other ways, and to encourage them that their personal selves are, they have the right to report if somebody tries to hurt them. We work with the Child Advocacy Center here. We serve, last year we served about 130 families. We offer support to the protective parents of those children who come to the Child Advocacy Center and are either sexually assaulted or physically assaulted. I really want to reinforce the comments of the gentleman who spoke about mental health. We are seeing severe mental health coming into our agency as we never have before. Mental health services are desperately needed. We do not have a practitioner available to us as often as we need. We work with the Kenosha Human Development Services on a daily basis, and in fact collaborate with them in one of our program areas and have an advocate working with them. But we still need much more assistance with mental health services. One of the sort of cornerstones of our work are the ACE studies, the Adverse Childhood Experience studies, which really speaks to the impact on the community from a child who's been abused. That later results many times in mental health, further domestic violence, sexual assault, all those kinds of things because of the trauma to the child's brain. So those are things that we really look at and hope to educate as we move through the community. We're right now starting our work with all of the colleges in the area. Parkside, Carthage, and Gateway are coming together to, as a unified voice with us on working with sexual assault issues and dating violence issues on campuses. We're going to be available 24/7 as we are to the community at Aurora Hospital or as a hotline service for any victim of sexual or domestic violence. And then in closing, we do a lot of work with law enforcement, and right now we're working with the Sheriff's Department and Kenosha Police Department in concert with us to work on developing a system that provides a better response to victims. So those are some of the things we're doing in the community at this time. I again want to thank you for your support and really commend you for this proclamation tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
This resolution requires a simple majority vote. All those in favor of...
Roll call.
Okay, roll call has been requested. Vote yes if you're in favor of Resolution 56. Go ahead.
A motion, we made a motion to suspend the rules. We suspended the rules.
Right.
But I didn't hear a motion on adopting the resolution. Am I missing something here? The rules doesn't mean you
No,
made a motion.
you're right.
It means
You're
you
right.
just suspended the rules.
You're absolutely right. Is there a motion?
Move to approve resolution.
Okay. It's been moved by Vice Chair Bruning, seconded by Supervisor Hallman to vote on this particular, move this thing forward. Resolution 57, thank you for helping me dot my i's and cross my t's, Supervisor Frederick. Simple majority has been called for and a roll call was asked for, so yes if you're in favor of Resolution 57, no if you're against Resolution 57. Thank you.
Claims 22, Kathy Seminis, on behalf of daughter Caitlin Seminis, personal injury and property damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
23, Edgar Rodriguez Roja, vehicle damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Approval of the minutes from the September 17, 2014 meeting by Supervisor Skalitsky.
Supervisor Skalitsky.
So moved.
Supervisor Skalitsky moved the minutes of the September 17, 2014 meeting. It was seconded by Supervisor Decker. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All those in favor, all those in favor of the approval of minutes, say aye. Aye. All those opposed. It's been moved by Supervisor Rick Dodge to move to adjourn, seconded by Supervisor Rose. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Have a good evening.